Back on Sports Pit, time for 5 great minutes with Jimmy Vaccaro, bookmaker for over 40 years. Stop in and see him at the South Point. Follow him on Twitter at Jimmy Vaccaro. I'll use your line here, Jimmy. I mean, you take that script to Hollywood that Brady would be surrounded by his family, throw the pick six, come all the way back down 25 with 8 minutes left in the third. Hollywood would laugh at you.
Yeah, they sure wouldn't. We go a step further, my friend. There was a lot of stories written in the past. 3 weeks when the playoffs started, saying, it's been a very dull playoff. Nothing exciting has happened. Well, you can completely erase that whole board and put up, wow, what an unbelievable ending to an unbelievable season.
It reminded me of college, where the Bulls were weak, the semifinals were blowouts, and Alabama Clemson bailed us out.
Yeah, it only takes one thing, and as the tournament's always turned around, people only remember what they saw last. Well, they'll take this thing clear into the next football season, because what you saw in both the college finals and the NFL finals is something that, as you said, Scorsese couldn't have made it any better. But as far as like the industry in general, as far as like what we take away from this, you can't get any better. You have a great time. You have a packed casino. The numbers were right there. The prop numbers we were right. 50% of the handle was on the props. And actually, when they kicked the ball off, Paulie, we were in such a good spot because I've never seen such great two-way action in the past 40 years. We never had to come off the number 3, which an absolute was a benefit. You had a little bit of movement on the under and a little bit of movement on the money line. So all you do is sit back and watch the game. Like any other book, I don't know exactly what their bottom line was, but we did good. It would have done a little bit better with the total going under, but I will take this and mark it down for the next 51 Super Bowls.
Yeah. Where does that rank for you all time in terms of watching the Super Bowl and the epic comeback?
Yeah, you're right there. That make no mistake about it, especially when you're in a situation where you knew it couldn't be bad. You did what you should do, and Chris Andrews and all the crew, the kids over at the South Point, they had everything ready. It was very, very like the big red machine with the Cincinnati Reds. Everybody knew their position. Everybody knew what to do. Everybody was in constant motion for about 7 hours before kickoff, and it all turned out well. Very few things that you had to adjust or change in that situation here. And ticket count was unbelievable. I'm going to give you a stat, Paul, and you think the people out there just say, "Oh, Jimmy, you're full of baloney." Well, it's been so. The way the things are done anymore, you can track down anything that you do in the sports book, from where you are to who you are to what number it is to what each individual breakdown. They break down each individual station on how many tickets they write when the kids are checking out, when they turn their money in. We had a girl with a 10-hour shift. She wrote 2,000 tickets in 10 hours. That's 200 tickets an hour. That's incredible, young man.
Yes. And the game changer's been the mobile app.
Oh, my goodness. So that helped. We would have never gotten everybody in if it weren't for the mobile app, because you couldn't. I mean, we just got, as they were kicking off, we had about, we had like 8 to 10 stragglers that they're just getting there right at the end. And remember, we have 12 windows in the sports book at the South Point. We accommodated 1,000 people on the second floor in the ballroom, and we had 4 betting windows up there. So we had 16 betting windows that for the 7 hours leading up to the game, 7 to 8 hours leading up to the game, it was absolutely nonstop, minimum of 10 to 15 people in each line. That's a sight to behold. We took a lot of pictures. We spread it around. It was a good feeling, a good thought process. And here we go again. More women every year, Paulie, are coming to the windows.
Yes. Did anybody leave early when it was 28-3 and give up on it?
No, I don't think so. There might have been a few rip tickets that went through the garbage can at the end of the game.
Yeah.
But I was standing there right at the right behind the supervisor's console right there, and I don't think anybody left. And obviously, they weren't going to leave in the third quarter. Say maybe another 8 to 10 minutes into the fourth quarter, they might have started to people leave out. But when there was always that thing, if, and you knew if the Patriots got to two situations where they needed 2 scores to catch up. Actually, it got bigger and bigger and louder when it got a little bit closer in the third quarter.
Yeah. Isn't it great to be a bookmaker? The South Point wins, and you still had the game go to overtime, and the game goes over, and he had all the New England players go over with the props, especially Brady?
Yep. Here we are, Paulie. Now we can say in the 2018 Super Bowl, there's been one of everything: a 2-point conversion, a safety, and now the one that never hit before, right? The overtime. Well, that's the history books also.
How big of a pain in the ass is it if New England wins 31-28?
Still be paying off tickets. That's all I can tell you from yesterday. It surely it wouldn't have really been catastrophic. It was nowhere. Don't start comparing to the 31-28 to the Steelers final falling on 4. But what makes it a little easier is that the computer figures out all the tickets no matter what happens. So if you tie one and have another 2 team involved in it, at least it figures it out for you. It would have been a pain in the ass, but it didn't happen.
Yep. So the bad props, I mean, these are obvious: defensive touchdown, the pick six, the game goes to overtime, 2-point conversion. Those were the bad props. What were the good props that you cleaned up on?
The props, it really wasn't like one, very, very bad or very, very good prop. I can't sit here honestly and tell you that there was one that we lost a lot of money up. We'd have lost $120,000 if the Patriots' final score would have been they scored 9 points. 9 or 11 was well over 100,000. So when it was 20-9, it was like, or 21-9, thinking, oh boy, here we go. Can they keep them shut? Can they shut them out the rest of the way? That would have been bad for us. But we wrote $30,500 on the coin toss, and we pocketed $4,900 on it. People wanted the decision early, and they got it.
My God. How about, I put you on the spot here, how about the McClellan play on the second Atlanta touchdown where he jumps over the center and Atlanta wasn't going to kick it because they were just going to eat it because they had no chance of getting a kickoff? If they don't kick it, is that still considered a missed extra point?
Yeah, we were talking about it then. I think it would have been graded that way. And those are situations where we as an industry, especially I can speak for the South Point, I can't speak for anybody else, we have to be more meticulous in the way that we word these propositions, because I guarantee you there would have been beefs both ways with that one. But you were right; it would have been a pain in the neck. So it's on us to make sure that those things are so worded well worded that you don't have a situation like that. But yeah, we were aiming towards one. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah, and you know what? This has been a great season. I appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you down the road. But thanks for coming on every week and recapping this.
It's always my pleasure, young man, and stay well, and we'll tell everybody out there we'll see him in August.
You got it right around the corner. Thank you. Hey, guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.